Hello, 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 welcome back to the Chassis Variant series, myself, Critical Rocket, and we're looking at the Javelin. Now, these were ones I had to pick up, the 11A and the 11B, when they were available for C-builds, as I don't have the money to buy all the packs up to a certain point, especially the reinforcements. $15 each, are you mental? Anyway, the 11A, this was a post-clan invasion product of the Inner Sphere, basically taking some of the lessons learned from the conflict and also using some of the rediscovered technology that was available at the time just lying around, or probably from the Helm memory core really, that allowed them to make this as a field refit. It wasn't specifically designed originally that way as a brand new version. It was mostly as older units were casting off their previous fire javelins, the 10F I believe it was. They were upgrading to this 11A model, and what makes it so unique is that, like the Fire Javelin, which had 4 medium lasers, this has 7. This is capable of doing a huge amount of damage, but did necessitate a few upgrades to, for instance, double heatsinks, and also to upgrade the armour to ferro fibrous. This also allowed engineers to add an extra ton of armour to the Javelin, so the 11A is not only more durable, it's also better heat management in that regard. As such, the Fire Javelin is incredibly deadly for a 30-tonner charging around the field. Still keeps its jump jets as well, which is rather nice, because one of the cool things about the Javelin is its manoeuvrability out in the field.
New target acquired.
So, personally, yeah, I mean, after the, alongside or after the 10p, it's probably my favourite variant. 7 medium lasers is nothing to sniff at. You can easily upgrade them to ERs if you don't mind the little extra heat fired during firing. It has 7 hardpoints, it doesn't need any more than that, especially for a light mech, which means sky's the limit with build designs. You've got them split between both side torsos, 2 in each, and then you've got 3 in the right arm. So your left arm can be used as a dummy or a shield arm, where you can just drop the armour off the left arm if you want and dump that into the more important sections of the mech. Obviously the Javelin has a fairly thin profile, which means it's not as easy to snipe at distance, and yeah, just the huge amount of firepower it can dump onto a target. I think this definitely ranks it up there with some of the other lights that are running around the field, and I don't know if people have really discovered it yet, but I think it's a real contender to work for quite a few different playstyles out there, especially the harasser playstyle, or just being able to swarm targets, or just maybe even sniping, because a good light pilot with a long-range weapon can really do some damage on bigger targets out there, and we've seen that on some maps in the past with things like Locusts and Ravens being able to just eat away at mechs with a single ER, and this thing I could imagine doing huge amounts of damage with ER smalls, pulse lasers of some description, possibly even just mounting a bunch of light PPCs, which would make it quite deadly. Puts me in mind of something like the Wolfhound W variant with its triple light PPC combination, which I do actually run, and I do recommend that as well. I just kind of hope that they really add it in there. It's also surprisingly good at managing the heat that it generates with its shots. This is on Tourmaline as well, so probably the hottest map, or one of the hottest maps currently in the game. One of the problems it does have by default is that it does have trouble aiming upward. Its pitch is not as good as some other mechs out there, but it's capable of being able to knock out UAVs. Outside of that, it doesn't really have any other unique elements to it, other than the fact that, as far as the Javelins are concerned, it is the one with the most energy hardpoints. So if you liked the Fire Javelin, the 11A is a natural upgrade, a natural step to take with the mech. You may have also noticed some drop there in the old frame rate. I think that was the guy's ammo cooking off. I've noticed on my machine that sometimes when there's a lot of smoke effects, especially on Tourmaline, for some reason, the only map that happens on, very rarely though, fortunately for me, is that sometimes the smoke effects from LRMs and ammo cooking off will actually cause a stutter for a second, then it clears itself up. A bit annoying, but I know people can have way worse problems with MechWarrior, so I'm not going to complain. This match is ratcheting down now, I believe. It was quite a lucky little crushing victory for me and my team. And yeah, I would wholeheartedly recommend the 11A if you've tried out the Javelins but didn't try out the 11A and B models. The A is definitely the first one to have a run around with. It is a lot of fun. And I'd like to thank everyone for watching, as usual. I hope you all have a good week, and I shall see you next week for the Maulers. There is only one, the MX-90, so there'll only be the one chassis vid for the next week, and then we'll be moving on to the 95-tonner, the Banshee. So, have a good one all, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Target acquired.
Target spotted. Halfway there.
Target destroyed.
Too bad.